Fly belly up.
This is the game. It's cat and mouse.
Smoked a turkey. Yes. He is down. He is freaking down.
Said he shot an absolute giant.
Fall obsession, baby.
And we are on the air. Welcome back, everybody, to another Fall Obsession podcast episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to another week. I am Sam Thrash with Fall Obsession, and sitting across the table from me in person this week is our media production manager at Fall Obsession, Nick Powell.
What is up, guys? Glad to be back.
Man, as always, we've said it before, we'll say it again, in-person podcasts are freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's really the way to go.
Oh, yeah. For those of you who may be a new listener, we've been doing this podcast for over 30 weeks now. A new episode dropping every Monday. This is episode 31.
It's insane, man.
It's crazy. You always think when you start something like this, you're like, oh, yeah, we'll drop one every Monday. It's not that easy, first off.
Right.
And then you think, oh, yeah, eventually we'll be at episode 20, episode 30, episode 50. But it's not until you really get there that you realize how cool of an accomplishment it is. So
exactly.
We wouldn't still be doing it if y'all weren't still listening. Our download numbers continue to increase every week, it seems like, and we really appreciate you guys turning in. We're off to a great start.
30 down and we still screw up.
We really appreciate you guys tuning in.
There we go.
To Fall Obsession Podcast. It's been awesome, and we appreciate the support. We're gonna keep going, and hopefully there's gonna be a lot of awesome stuff coming in the weeks to come.
Yeah.
So
can't emphasize that enough, guys. Y'all are the reason that we're here.
Yeah. And we're gonna get into that in this episode today. Some of the hunts and stuff that we got coming up this year. But to start off, as always, you guys know the drill. Elite Archery. Go check them out. Go shoot them. If you haven't shot an Elite or you haven't shot one in a long time, you need to go to your local dealer, check them out, put them up against any bow out there, and see how it feels, man. That's the most that we can tell you to do. We're confident that the rest will speak for itself, that the bow will impress you enough to maybe want to take a step farther with it. As Larry McCoy with Respect the Game TV told us himself in episode 14 of our podcast, all they want to do is be a part of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys give them that opportunity. Go to your local dealer, shoot an Elite bow, go to elitearchery.com, check them out. I'm running the Cure this year. Nick's running last year's Ritual.
Yeah.
Freaking both of them are awesome bows.
Absolutely.
Can't get enough of them. Can't wait to get in the woods with them this fall. So y'all go check them out. And on that note, if you're going to a bow shop, head on over to Cinnamon Creek in North Texas. I know some of you aren't local to North Texas, so it'd more be just if you're in the area, go and check them out. But we're actually out here at Cinnamon Creek today podcasting.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. So big shout out to them once again for their partnership with us, for letting us use their facilities, their team for helping us out with our bow and archery needs. And we encourage you guys to give them a shot as well. They got more than archery out here too. They got a wild game processor and an event center as well, where they do lessons and group-ons, tournaments, archery tag, axe throwing, corporate events.
They do date nights as well. Guys, go check them out on Facebook. They got all kinds of events that they're posting all the time that they host out here. So definitely go check them out.
Yeah, every month they do a Couples by the Creek deal, which is really cool. Chance for you and your spouse to come out here and shoot some bows, have a fun date night, eat some really good food that they cook in-house. So they got some awesome chefs up here too. So go check out Cinnamon Creek. They've been good to us, and they can be good to you as well.
Absolutely.
Let them know Fall Obsession sent you. And on the note of Cinnamon Creek, we're podcasting now, but earlier today we were out on the range, not only shooting some videos and doing some production stuff, but we were getting ready for this season. And you're going to be the first one to stand this year, Nick.
Yep.
So
hopefully
well, there's no hopefully about it right now. It's happening. So, but you're going to be the first.
It's
one
on the
up.
calendar.
Yeah.
It's on the calendar.
Yeah. So next week, well, I'll let you talk about it, but we'll get into our discussion next week. We got a hunting trip coming up.
Yep, me and you. We're going out to a wildlife management area called Big Lake Bottom. This year, when I bought my tag, I put in for a draw for a permit to hunt on this public land piece of ground. I think it's around 3,000 acres or something like that.
That's a pretty big piece.
It's a huge piece. And I've never done anything like this before. So we were fortunate enough to have a couple of buddies of ours loan us some tree stands, some hang-on tree stands. So we're going to make the best of it. Hopefully we'll get a deer on the ground, whether it's a doe or a buck or whatever.
Completely do it yourself, camping, whole 9 yards.
Yep.
So you and I are going to be out there for 3 days just
So
getting
primitive. So primitive.
We're going to be roughing it in the backcountry, boys.
That's right. The backcountry of Texas.
Drew's shaking his head at us right now.
Yeah. We're climbing, hiking mountains and stuff. It's going to be awesome.
No, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a trip that it's a little bit out of the ordinary. Going to a piece that we really haven't had I know you're going to get a day basically, actually tomorrow, I think, to go out there and scout maybe a little bit.
Yeah, because every time they do this, they have a mandatory orientation for everybody who draws a permit. And so if you're not at this orientation, then they forfeit your permit and they go to the next guy. So I have to be there tomorrow at noon, which is, I guess you won't be hearing this, but I'll already have been there by the time you're hearing this. Anyways, podcast timing is weird. And
it is weird.
But I will be there tomorrow at noon for the orientation. I'm going to do a little scouting tomorrow afternoon, so hopefully I can find us a good spot.
Yeah, we're be putting up our own stand setups kind of on the spot, trying to find a good spot to hang a couple tree stands. Nick's going to be the only one hunting. I'm going with him as the producer basically to film and document. And
he's helping a brother out.
Yeah, helping a brother out. It's also a chance for me to get out in the woods. So we're excited about it.
Yeah.
Really, it's awesome, too, for us to be able to do something like this and have a designated cameraman. I feel like it makes everything so much easier on your part as a hunter.
Absolutely.
And even on my part as the cameraman as well. So
there's a lot less I have to worry about, because I'm already having to worry about finding animals and not worrying about getting the whole hunt on film myself, you know. So it's a lot to worry about by yourself. So having another guy there really helps a lot.
Absolutely. And that's really any time, man. I mean,
oh yeah,
we saw that difference last year in San Angelo on our management hunt that we did down there. There were a couple guys that did some self-filming stuff, but we were privileged to be in groups of 2 a lot of the time. And because of that, we were able to have a cameraman and a hunter. They swap back and forth. I know we've talked about this before on the podcast, but we were able to swap back and forth and get some good hunts on video. And I'm hoping that that's going to be this year as well. So.
Oh yeah, I bet we'll get some excellent footage.
And so while we're talking about what we're going to be doing out there too, another cool thing that we're going to try to bring you guys as our listeners are podcasts straight from the field next week on this hunt.
Yeah.
And I'm super stoked for that. We'll be going a little old school. We won't have all the cool microphones and everything that we have normally out there. We'll just be kind of going bare bones backcountry, you know. With
back in the backcountry.
Back in the backcountry with a basic recording device, but we're going to try to record some podcasts while we're out there in camp at night or after a hunt or something like that. That way we can tell the story of the hunt and get some fresh feedback, some fresh reactions to hopefully a successful trip. So one thing we wanted to kind of direct you guys to is the next few episodes that are going to be coming out. You're going to be hearing a lot of just me and Nick in the upcoming episodes, but it's going to be good content moving forward for kind of into deer season and into the fall hunting seasons. We're going to try to bring you a lot of podcasts straight from hunting camp, which I think is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
So we don't really know how many there's going to be. We don't know who all might be joining us, but we hope that it's some good content to bring you guys some genuine stuff.
Oh, it will be. I have all the confidence in the world in us.
You got more than me then.
But man, I'm excited to do these in the field podcasts because it's like going back to our roots where we started the podcast at with just a recorder.
Yeah.
And the pickup.
And the
pickup truck podcast.
It was, man, we did what we had to do starting out. We still do what we have to do. We still podcast in some rather unusual locations from time to time.
That's a fact.
And Drew, I know you're listening. Drew gets on to us, guys. He's like, we gotta video these things, guys. We gotta video the podcast to put them on the YouTube instead of just the recording of them, you know, like the image. And I'm like, dude, some places we record you don't want to see. Like,
Exactly.
It just doesn't work, man.
It's just not pleasing to the eye.
No.
Let's say that.
If we can have a designated studio one day where we do pretty much all of our podcasts, then I could see us setting something like that up. That'd be cool.
Right,
But
yeah.
as many places as we are right now, man, it doesn't work out all that great. And,
No,
and
I
like you
agree.
said, especially when we started out recording these in a pickup truck.
That would have been great video.
So if you guys are curious what that was like, go back and listen to some of those early
Oh, yeah.
episodes, and you'll hear a little bit of a difference in the audio. It's actually pretty good for
It's not bad.
being in a
Yeah.
pickup truck, but
You can understand us.
most of the time.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, first episode we ever recorded. That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
So, well, man, you have a big deer on camera this year.
Number 1 on the hit list.
Number 1 on the hit list. We've
Yeah.
posted a picture of this deer before. It's on our social media pages. This guy's a freaking stud, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's pushing 150, in my personal opinion. Somebody may look at that deer and be like, I'm full of crap, but I believe that deer's pushing 150.
I think you're right.
And as early as this upcoming weekend, he could be on the ground. So,
I hope so. That'd be sweet.
so
In a perfect world. it
in a
would be.
perfect world, yeah, you'll be out there trying to get him down. He's coming in during the day though, so
Yeah,
that's a
I've gotten.
plus.
But the hard thing about those deer that I hunt out there is that they have zero pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to pattern them because I have a picture. The very first picture I got of them was at 3:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then the next one I got was at 7:30 in the morning. The next one at 10 o'clock in the morning. The next one at 3:30 in the afternoon, and then the next one at 7 and 5, 6, and 7 in the afternoon. So it's like, what are you doing, man? You're all over the place.
Is he coming in every day?
No,
No,
that either. He's not coming in every day.
just whenever he feels like it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
whenever he's passing through, I guess. But
to
we've
sit there
gotten
all
several.
day.
We've gotten several pictures, so I'm pretty confident. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Have I shown you the updated picture of him?
the one that you
The most
texted
recent?
me and that I posted on our Instagram was, I think, the only one that I've seen.
Was that like the close up?
You might. I think you did show me one that one morning.
Let me pull it up.
Not that long ago, but so guys, to add a little bit of humor to the story of Nick beginning his pursuit of this buck. Oh, hang on, he's about to show me this picture. Okay, yeah, I did see that one.
You saw that one?
You can see how tall he is in that
Yeah,
picture. You need to text that to me so I can post it with this episode.
Okay.
Anyway, to add a little humor to the beginning of this story and a little bit of a backstory on me and Nick outside of follow-up sessions, for those of you who don't know, we're both firefighter paramedics.
Mm-hmm.
We work for the same agency.
Yep.
On different shifts, though.
Yep.
So Nick signed up to go on this wildland deployment to California.
Mm-hmm.
And he texts me telling me, hey, I might be going on this thing, not sure yet, but if I do, I'm going to be gone for an extended period of time, and it's going to interfere with our hunt.
Right.
And I was bummed because I'm looking forward to our hunt next week.
Yeah.
So I started.
Sam specifically told me, I hope you don't go. Just so we could go on our hunt.
So, and nothing to take away from the wildfires in California, and a lot of respect for the guys that are out there fighting those
Yeah, for
wildfires.
sure.
Not to say that we wouldn't be there or won't be there at some point, who knows, but all that is to say, respect for those guys, not to take away from that, but I want to go hunting. So
Same.
I started.
We are too.
I
It's
started
happening.
teasing Nick about that big deer. I was like, well, if you go and you miss opening weekend of bow season, I guess I'm gonna have to go shoot that deer.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you said something about how we wouldn't be friends anymore, or
Something along
like
those
that,
lines,
or
yeah.
you'd have
Something
to get
like
through
that, yeah.
You said something like you'd have to get through my dad first.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just bribe your dad with a hunting trip and a free hat, and kind of LOL, haha. And then you're like, he might actually go for that.
don't do that. Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
But so all that is to say, this is a big deer. We'll post a picture of it with this podcast.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know, Nick is not going on the wildland deployment.
No, I'm not.
At this time.
Not this one.
So we will be hunting next week.
Yes, we will.
So exciting
Coming
times.
to you live from the field.
Live from the field. So these episodes, and I'm pulling up my calendar here to kind of give you guys an idea. But the first podcast from the field is probably going to be maybe October 19th episode, I think, is probably what we're going to shoot for. So starting October 19th, you guys are going to hear podcasts coming from the field at that point. So really, really cool that we're able to do that. I think that it's awesome. I know a lot of other podcasts do it, and I enjoy listening to other podcasts that record from the field. It's definitely entertaining and
yeah, for sure,
and adds a sense of realism to it, which is what we try to do with this podcast. We try to be as down to earth and as candid as we can with you guys, and we're everyday hunters like y'all. Same struggles. We're nothing special. We just put in the work to put it online. So
we do what we can with what we have.
This is very true. So the other part that I kind of wanted to lead us into with this discussion is talking about media production, is talking about being out there in the field, or like today, being out there on the range.
Yeah, it was a blast, man.
It was a blast, but at the same time, when your fall obsession, when you are an admin for the company like we are, or even to a certain extent for our pro and field staffers, man, there comes a point where I just want to hunt.
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
comes a point when, even for us, we love bringing you guys this stuff, and and we're going to keep doing it by any means. This is not me saying we quit.
Definitely not.
But man, if you guys get the opportunity just to go out there and just enjoy the outdoors, just hunt, or just go to the range and shoot your bow and not have to worry about pictures, videos, productions, alligator hunts either.
Yeah, don't worry about those.
That's a joke. There's going to be a video coming out very soon.
Yes.
On a recent alligator hunt that Mr. Nick Powell got to go on.
Heck yeah.
With me running camera.
Impromptu.
We didn't even know it was going to be an alligator hunt. It just turned into one.
Yeah.
So I will say no more than that. That's all I'm going to say. You guys are going to have to tune in, subscribe to our YouTube, and wait for that video, because it's
going to be awesome.
It is awesome.
I would even go as far as to use the word epic.
Epic.
Yeah.
Man, it was very epic. I was running camera, and I was struggling to keep up with you.
Hey,
you were all over the place.
I was going to say, I couldn't have done it without a cameraman. It wouldn't have been near as good.
No, it really wouldn't have. So there are times when cameraman is important and
100%.
appropriate.
Yeah.
So, and on that note, I will take the discussion into that. And man, we're all over the place with this episode.
That's okay.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
We're impromptu, but a little ADD over here.
Yeah.
But I'll take that episode into, again, to elaborate more on you being able to just hunt next week, and me being able to just run camera. Man, it makes it so much easier, being able to focus on one or the other. Even more so, like up in Montana last year when I was up there with Chester and Drew, we were able to, one of us run camera. Drew was always kind of the full-time guide. It seems like he got stuck in that role. And then either whoever wasn't running camera was hunting. So and that made it a lot easier, especially on a hunt like that where it's getting up and going. And you're able to put together such a better production. When you're not having to worry about running camera, when you got somebody else to do it. So all that is to say, guys, whether you're a self-filmer or you have the opportunity to take somebody out there with you, it's fun, it's a good experience, and I know a lot of guys, especially nowadays, are getting into documenting their hunts and doing more and more of that, which is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you get the opportunity to go out there with somebody that can just run camera for you, man, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to be able to focus on the hunt and to be able to capture everything at the same time.
Yeah, my wife has actually agreed. She's a photographer, for those of you who don't know. She has actually agreed to hop up in the tree with me this year.
Really?
And film me, yeah.
She gonna video you killing that big deer?
I hope so.
Do you have a good setup for that, I guess? Because that's another part that we can talk about, is setting up to hunt with a camera.
Yeah, that's tough as well, because where that deer is, the main thing we have is tripods. And so right now there's not two tripods close to each other. So it's going to be a little difficult. We'll figure something out, though.
Yeah. Jimmy rig it.
Little
redneck ingenuity never hurt nobody.
Never hurt nobody. Well, maybe a couple people, but
it may have physically hurt some people, but
we don't talk about those.
No, safety first, guys.
Yeah,
safety first.
Absolutely. Always use your tree harnesses.
Tree harness all the way, every day, every time. Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad that y'all are going to get to do a little hunting together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
one day, hopefully, she'll be able to get her own. I'll be able to film her.
I'm hoping, and it's a big if this year, but I'm hoping to be able to get my wife her first deer this year too with her bow. So it's it's a big if for us as far as places I have that I'm going to be able to hunt this year. But man, every plan this year has just, I don't know. It's been kind of a bummer year for our out-of-state plans.
Classic 2020, man.
Classic 2020.
Freaking A.
Nick and I, we put in for our Montana tags, and if you guys have listened to the podcast for more than 10 weeks, you know that we were unsuccessful. Drew was not, so Drew's going actually the same time we're going to be hunting down here next week. Drew's going to be hunting antelope up in Montana. So good luck to you, Drew. We love you and hate you.
Yeah.
Really, really hope that you get one, but really wish we could be there with you.
Heck yeah.
But all is to say, we're not going to Montana this year. Kind of a bummer for you first time. Bummer for me because last 2 years I've gone, and this year's just a weird year, man.
I know.
And then that turned into a plan for a Wisconsin deer hunt, and then that turned into a plan for an Idaho elk then mule deer hunt, and everything has just fallen through and not worked.
Yeah, it's just not working out, man. With getting time off and trying to find the right days to go and trying to find who all wants to go, and it's just
lining schedules up, man. When you got guys spread out across the country, it's
tough.
hard.
It's tough.
It's tough.
But next year is going to be great.
I sure hope so. We're gonna have a better idea on what we're doing with this whole out of state thing.
Yeah.
Other than the Montana experience, I haven't hunted really anywhere else outside the state of Texas. So
Me neither.
I'm hoping that next year we got our act together a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
well, we've talked a little bit in this episode about filming your hunts, but I think we should dive in a little more about what all it takes to have a good production, because there's a lot that goes into it.
There is a lot that goes into it, and especially for, like we said, all those guys out there that are self-filmers, our own staff, or even guys that are just listeners to this podcast, it's definitely something that we can give some pointers on.
Yeah.
And because we've learned, all of our productions, guys, just for those of you who don't know, we've learned by trial and error.
Absolutely.
Nick and I have not been to any sort of video editing or filming class or anything. We film everything with basic equipment, and it just goes to show. I'm not trying to brag, but our quality of production is pretty good. It is, and that's what we strive to bring out.
Pretty proud of it.
We are proud of it, and so with us bringing that to you guys, it's really, like I said, it's been trial and error. You go back 2-3 years ago and look at our videos, and you can see the difference between our videos back then and our videos now.
Yeah.
And then and again, I know we've kind of touched on this in previous episodes, but you coming into the role with doing all the editing now, you've had to learn stuff a lot quicker than I did, coming up as well, and now you're teaching me stuff.
Yeah. Well, man, and a lot of it is just like seeing what other people do and trying to not copy it, but just pulling ideas from a lot of different people and trying to incorporate those ideas into our productions.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, YouTube is my best friend when it comes to learning how to edit videos and how to edit anything, really, pictures, whatever. And so that's been a huge help to me in this process, because this is new for me as well. This is something when I first joined Fall Obsession, I saw the videos and how they were edited. This is something that I was like, that would be kind of cool to be behind the scenes, not in front of the camera, even though I am in front of the camera a little bit, but I'd much rather be behind it, trying to get the good footage, get the B-roll footage that you need, which B-roll footage, for those who don't know, is just a little something to kind of make time pass as you're telling the story in the video, is all it is. That's kind of the best way I can describe it.
I think that term, telling the story, it is, that right there says a lot, I think. And that's what we try to do with our videos and our series. Guys, for those of you who don't know, I have a reputation that is quickly developing on this podcast for saying words that don't exist. And y'all are going to hear more about that probably in next week's episode, just a little hint for you there. But I struggle, so I apologize, guys. I am not cut out for this. I really am not.
No, we should do a poll on how well you podcast instead of me. That's what we should do.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Yep. I don't do anything with social media, but you can make that happen.
Well, now I have to, because you're not going to edit this out. So
Yeah, that's
now
right.
I
It's
have
going
to.
in. And so, guys, when you see the poll on our Instagram and Facebook, make sure to vote.
Yeah, vote on, I guess, if I'm a good podcaster or not, however we're going to put that.
See if it's higher than 71%.
Yeah, for those of you who know about previous polls, 71% of our listeners think that Nick is a good host.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
29% disagree.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. Anyways,
Anyways.
I don't even remember what I was talking about once again.
Trying to tell a story.
Telling a story.
Yep.
Thank you. Getting back on track here. But so that's what we try to do with our hunting show, our flagship series online, Fall Obsessed Outdoors, which you guys can find on our website and our YouTube.
Yep.
That's what we try to do. We try to tell a story instead of just taking. Our staffers send in so many hunts every year that are, and this year especially, we've seen some awesome videos from the guys that either they've done some editing and we put the final touches, or we edit the whole thing, just get the raw footage from them. Either way, some awesome videos and some awesome footage from our staffers. But whenever you just take all those videos for a show like ours, whenever you just take all those videos and put them together, it's basically it's kind of choppy and like a montage, basically.
Right.
It's just hunting videos is all it is. We try to tell the full story, which is what we've done with Fall Obsessed Outdoors, is we've taken 1 or 2 hunts, really, is all it's consisted of every year, and we've told that story from start to finish. And sometimes it's successful, sometimes, like last year, Montana, it's not. But we tell you guys that story in an effort to share our experiences, and hopefully you guys learn something from what happened in our story. So all that is to say, when Nick talks about B-roll footage and filming stuff, you can get too aggressive with it. There is such a thing, very much so, as too much B-roll footage.
Oh, for sure.
And that's when guys are just filming every little leaf in the tree, when guys are filming every little product that they have on their bow. It's okay to showcase your bow or your scent control or whatever briefly, in our opinion. We do that. But filming yourself getting to the stand, filming some deer that you're not going to shoot that are coming out there, all that helps pass time, but there has to be a healthy balance. Nobody wants to watch a doe in a field that you're not going to shoot for 10 minutes before the buck that you're going to shoot walks out. You know,
Right,
you can show
exactly.
that doe walking out there. You can show that doe being in front of you. But once guys have seen it, they've seen it.
Yeah.
They want to see what happens next. So all that comes into play. And again, that comes down back to trial and error, learning that stuff as we have produced videos over the years and dished out content. But you showed me a video this morning that you were working on. And I'm not scared to, we can tell people about it. It's Kurt Eckleberry's video from the youth hunt that he just had with young Hunter Lawton.
Yeah.
And got him a doe with his crossbow.
Smoked him. It was awesome.
Really awesome video.
Awesome footage by Kurt. Strong work, man.
Strong work, Kurt. So I don't know when that episode's going to be published exactly, but if it's not out already, y'all keep an eye out for it, because it is an awesome hunt. You cannot stage the reaction that this kid has after shooting
It's
this deer.
awesome.
So
He has buck fever with a doe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is every bit of what they call buck fever, when your heart's racing and you're shaking because your adrenaline's pumping and you just can't control what your body does. You can't even finish a sentence because you're so excited. And this is his first doe ever. And so it's just
buck fever on a doe.
Yeah, exactly. Doe fever.
Doe fever.
But, man, his reaction is priceless, guys. I can't wait for you to see it.
So, and while we're talking about that too, talking about reactions and everything, another thing when you guys are filming your own hunts, whether you're filming your own hunts or have a cameraman with you, if you have a second, even a cheaper video camera or a GoPro or even just your phone that you can turn around and put in the stand with you and point it toward you to video you making the shot and your reaction after, man, it's so much better, because either you miss it otherwise, or you try to go back and recreate it, and man, you can tell when people
it's not the
recreate
same.
it.
It's not the same.
And I'm not trying to be like super critical here, but there are videos I turn off when I see a struggling with words again.
Illegitimate, I think is what you're looking for.
That's
There
the
you
word
go.
I'm looking for. Illegitimate reaction. There's times when I turn off a video when that's the case. So a legitimate reaction is it makes a video. It can make a hunting video.
Absolutely.
And I know what you're laughing about over here. I have one of you from last December.
That's not what I'm laughing
Oh, you're
about.
not?
No.
Well, what are you laughing about then? Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at our buddy up in Minnesota, Andy. This guy, when he shoots something or shoots at something, his reactions are priceless too.
Andy, we love you, man. We love you to death, and we love watching your videos.
Yes,
In all
please,
seriousness,
please keep sending your videos
keep
in.
videoing your hunts. So there's a video on our YouTube from last spring. It is titled "Turkey Decapitated at 5 Yards."
Yep.
That is a video to go watch because Andy's reaction, I think it's his first turkey ever.
Yeah.
And he shoots it with his bow at 5 yards. His reaction is priceless. I'm not even going to describe it. If you want, and you don't have to, but if you want, you can edit in the initial reaction, just the audio real quick right here.
Yeah, I will.
Pause for effect.
Nice!
Unpause for effect.
Awesome.
But anyway, that reaction is absolutely awesome. You guys gotta go check out the video. And there's another video that I will talk about.
Please
that
do.
is probably not going to make it to our pages, to our YouTube channel, just due to certain wording in the video.
Yes,
So Andy went up to Montana. He also was one
got
of the
drawn,
he's
yeah.
one of the guys that got drawn for
Lucky
an antelope
dog.
tag. So he went up 2 or 3 weeks ago, I guess. Had a successful hunt, got him a great speed goat on the ground, and then he sends us the video of the camera on him in the blind as he's shooting. And man, it's so funny. It's like it's super quiet. There's nothing there. You see him draw back. You see him shoot, and then he goes, "Oh crap!" He had a different word for it, but he goes, "Oh crap!"
Right.
And then he's sitting there and he's looking, and then you see him load another arrow, and he draws back again. This goat's still in front of him, man. He draws back again. He shoots. Oh crap! A second time, the exact same way. It's like, oh my gosh. He was nervous. I mean, you could tell. I mean, he was excited. So, and I guess, did he take 3 shots, or I think he hit it with the second shot. He thought it was bad, but it ended up being a good shot.
Yeah.
He recovered the goat. It was an awesome first pronghorn, man.
Yeah.
We're super excited.
Congratulations, Andy.
Yeah, but man, again, we can't really post that video due to certain words that were used, but
It was comical.
it was hilarious.
It got me.
Yeah, so we have some awesome reactions, and I'll talk about the one that I was going to say with you when you shot your first turkey with a bow. I know we've talked about before, but
My first kill ever with a bow.
yeah, your first bow kill ever. I was
Big
cameraman
deal.
for
Well,
you.
except for the squirrel that I killed with it.
We don't count that. So, but
Come on, man.
your first game animal. I mean, well, squirrels are technically game animals in some places, but I don't squirrel hunt, man.
Yeah,
so.
I don't count it either. It's fine.
Anyway, your eyes were about as
first-
big as golf
yeah.
balls after you shot, and again, that reaction that you had, it's in a few videos that we have run around, but it's on our YouTube channel as well from back in December. So,
Yeah.
But that reaction you had, you couldn't have redone that. You really couldn't.
No.
have. So,
And going back to the last podcast with Derek and Lacey,
yeah.
with the Mississippi Bow Hunters Association, Derek talks about bow hunting turkeys.
Yeah.
And man, I could not agree more because I could actually relate to that. That's something I've actually done is shot a turkey with a bow, and it is awesome. You can see it on my face.
It's a rush, man. And bow hunting in general, man, it's a freaking rush.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I know we've said it 1,000 times, the reactions, you can't make them up.
Right.
You shouldn't make them up. Take that extra time to put a camera on yourself, even if that's the only footage you get.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. My reaction when I shot my pronghorn 2 years ago. in
Yeah, that was
Montana,
awesome.
I've never, ever had that kind of reaction after shooting an animal. And when I shot that thing at 42 yards with my bow, I was legitimately about to cry.
Yeah.
Like, I was so excited and so happy. And especially on a hunt like that, so much comes together. you've worked so hard for
Right.
3 days to try and put an animal on the ground, and then to finally get it done and to watch him go down and to know you made a good shot, to see blood pouring out of him. It's like, oh my gosh, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Like we say unreal, it is legitimately unreal. Like,
Yeah, it's a
you
big
can't
deal.
make it up. You can't make it up.
You can't. There's
So-
nothing like it, and that's why we do what we do, man.
Yeah, that's why we put forth the effort to bring you guys this stuff, to bring you guys realistic footage, realistic podcast, realistic photos, and all that, everything. We try to be as real and as
We just want to be transparent.
transparent. Thank you. Words again, struggle bus. But we try to be as transparent as we can with you guys, because we believe that that's where y'all can relate. That's where we can make a difference in your hunting lives, is by sharing our struggles and successes.
For sure.
And being able to prove to you guys that it's legitimate.
Because hunting's not all successful like you watch on TV.
Nope.
There's a ton of hunting shows that frustrate me. I mean, they're great shows, don't get me wrong, but it's just frustrating because every single episode they're killing another big deal. They're what is going on?
Man, there's something about this room today, man. I don't know.
That's what it is.
We're mumbling and stumbling our way through this episode.
We
and
are.
I don't know. We've had to stop like 4 times and gather ourselves.
All right.
Or
We got this.
transparency.
Transparency. They're killing another big deer.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that is not how it is in real life. It's you don't go out there every single time and kill a gigantic deer.
Nope. you don't.
And it's just so
Everyday guys don't, at least.
right. So we just try to be as transparent as we can and as real as we can, because we want to share that with you guys.
For those of you who don't know, I haven't shot a whitetail buck since 2013. 7 years since I shot my last whitetail buck. I've shot plenty of does. I've shot my pronghorn buck, but I've not shot a whitetail buck since 2017. My biggest deer ever was the last whitetail buck that I shot.
2013?
13. 7 years.
You said 17. You said 2017.
For real? Should I redo that?
No.
Oh my gosh. Guys,
This is going to be a great episode.
I'm sorry. I know y'all are loving us right now.
It's been even longer than that since I've shot a buck.
Really?
Yeah.
Longer since 2017 or 2013?
2013. It's probably been longer than 10 years since I've shot a buck.
Really?
Yeah.
With a
So-
rifle, I assume, too.
Yes. I have never shot a buck with my bow.
Hopefully that's going to change this weekend.
It's changing this year at least.
Sunday.
Maybe not this weekend, but
Sunday.
it's changing this year.
Sunday, it's going to change. You're gonna
Sunday,
kill that big deer.
Sunday.
You're going to kill that big deer on Sunday.
Heck yeah.
I have faith in you.
Appreciate that.
I'll be eagerly awaiting a text message.
Oh, yeah. You, Nicole, and my dad are all getting the first 3 text messages.
First 3 text messages. You got to throw Chance and Waylon in there, too.
Yeah. I'll send it to my whole crew
Yeah.
back at Station 1.
There you go. Get some good photos of that buck.
Yeah.
That's,
That's the thing is, like, filming hunts is so huge. Like, when I was young, when I shot my last buck and the buck before that, I have 4 bucks on the wall, and I have a picture with one of them. That's it. And that was my first deer I ever shot. Like, I don't have any pictures. I don't have any video. So I have no memory besides that buck being on the wall and, the story in my head.
Yeah.
No visual memory that I can show anybody.
Was it really you that killed it?
It was. There was a witness. So my dad
okay.
was there.
Yeah.
So he saw me do it.
Okay.
So he can vouch for me. Yeah, I did really kill it. But there's no video or anything of me actually doing it. And so filming hunts is a way to have those memories in a form you can save and show somebody else or your children, grandchildren, whatever, down the road.
Well, and
so,
I know we've said this before in various, when the topic of youth hunting and stuff comes up, but
Yeah.
like you and I both have sons that aren't old enough to hunt yet, but
Yep.
give them a few years and they'll be there. And with us, when that time comes, having the capability to video it, video them hunting like Kurt did for Lawton
Yep.
and all that, video those hunts, so that kid throughout his whole life, he can go back and pull it up on YouTube, man, his first deer he ever killed.
Yeah.
And show that to his son one day. Man, that it's awesome that we're able to do that, because this current generation, that is just now getting into the woods and learning how to hunt, this is the first generation that really, I feel like, is truly been able to have those memories documented for them on such a casual level. Even if you don't video your own hunts, so many dads, right now, they go out there and they pull, their kid's about to shoot a deer, they pull out their phone, to video it. Sometimes that's all you need.
That's all you need.
So pull out your phone and video it, man, because that's, whether you post it online or not, that's a memory for your kid forever.
Absolutely.
Right there. So.
And man, I couldn't be more thankful for our families as well, because when you guys see a production, there's a lot that goes into it other than just having that camera and shooting that little piece of footage.
Yep.
There's a lot of footage that we shoot anyways. There's hours and hours of footage that we have to go through to get a 10, 20-minute video or whatever we're shooting for. And the time it takes to get all that footage, plus all the time it takes to
go through it, edit it,
all that stuff. That's more time away from our families. And like we've said this before as well, we're not getting paid. Nobody's getting paid. We do this because we love what we do, and we love getting content out there for you guys. And so, first of all, I'd like to give a shout out to our families, but I just want to emphasize that it's a lot of time and a lot of effort that we put into these things to have that time away from our families. So we're very thankful to them for letting us do what we do.
Letting us do what we do and bring all this stuff to you guys. Absolutely. And we really don't have time to dive into like video editing and all that kind of stuff, and a podcast isn't really the best platform to really do that.
Right.
Because you're just describing stuff. But I do want to do a production at some point. It won't be during hunting season, guys, just because we got too much other stuff going on. But maybe next summer or something, we're going to try to maybe bring you guys a series on hunting production from start to finish.
Yeah.
Filming the hunt, angles that we use, angles we try to get, stuff we make sure that we get footage-wise and everything, all the way down to editing it and putting it online. Like, I want to be able to walk you guys through that from start to finish to hopefully help you guys be able to make your own productions better.
Yeah.
Like we've said, those memories more memorable.
Yeah.
In that sense. So
that was one thing I appreciated about Lance Kruger's podcast, was that he wanted to share all the information that he's learned. The only thing he doesn't share is his locations, which I respect.
big respect right
yes.
there. Yeah.
But he just wants to share with anybody who wants to know all of the stuff that he's learned over the years and years of experience that he has. And we want to do the same thing over the experience we have. So
yeah. I was going to say, and this kind of goes into our closing for this episode, but I was going to save this for next week's episode, but I think it's more appropriate now. We got some feedback on our podcast recently, and for those of you who don't know, there is a form on our website, fallobsession.com/podcast, where you guys can go. You can either ask questions, suggest a topic, or just give us feedback in general on our podcast. You guys, there's a form you can fill out there online. But this gentleman gave us some feedback, and this is really encouraging to us because, I mean, we can see the numbers grow. Like we said at the beginning, we can see the download numbers climb on this podcast, but actually hearing people talk about it is really cool. So this gentleman, and you know who you are, you're a loyal listener, and we really appreciate you, buddy. But he says, and this is quote, "I've listened to several different hunting podcasts over the past few years, but never found one that I can't stop listening to until I started listening to Fall Obsession Podcast. Honestly, this is the best podcast on the market, in my opinion. Y'all have hit the sweet spot with it. It's like hanging out with your hunting buddies and telling stories and just talking for a while. I can't get enough of it, and I just want to tell you all that. Keep up the good work. You guys are doing amazing stuff. Take care." And we really appreciate that. It's really awesome to hear positive feedback. I'm not, and this is not, don't take this the wrong way, guys. This is not me asking for y'all to give us compliments by any means. That's not where I'm going with this.
Right.
But it's really cool because what this guy just said that he gets out of this is exactly what we're trying to do.
Yep, exactly.
And we have stumbled through this episode. We have had so many mess ups, some of which you guys will hear in the episode, some of which might be edited out. I don't know. It's up to this guy to decide.
More than likely.
But that's why we do this. We do this for y'all. We do this to share our own experience, and we want to be those guys that y'all listen to, and you feel like you're hanging out with us.
Yeah.
You feel like this is just an everyday conversation about whatever it may be. And I also feel like the folks that we have brought on as special guests on our podcast have kind of had the same mentality and the same approach.
For sure.
They've been down to earth, and it's really been cool to build this podcast around us and those folks around us that share the same beliefs and opinions about what hunting should be.
Yeah.
And what a hunting camp and a hunting podcast, a hunting media production company like us should be.
And I think it's important to accentuate that, like Sam said, we're not looking for compliments. We're just looking for feedback. If there's something that we can do better to better provide content for you guys, let us know, because we'd be more than happy to oblige.
Absolutely. Well, man, as always, I've enjoyed it. This is a good time, and I love podcasting. It's one of my favorite productions to do, because this is where I feel like I can be the most transparent.
Yeah.
Is on this podcast where I can be myself for the most part.
Right.
Instead of having to smile for a camera. So another reason why I haven't brought a video camera into our podcast yet, Drew, because I don't want my face on it.
Exactly. Our voices are probably annoying enough.
Oh, man. Well, guys, we really appreciate y'all. Like we've said so many times, we really appreciate y'all listening.
Yep.
And tuning in to another Fall Obsession podcast episode. If you guys have not yet already, go to fallobsession.com. That is our website. That is where all of our content eventually winds up or filters through. Videos, reviews, articles, recipes. Also, if you're looking for a good wild game recipe, you can find those in our articles section of our website. We got some new merch available.
Yeah, I'm wearing one right now.
Nick's over here rocking the Pronghorn Country shirt that we got, which has probably been our most popular and most talked about shirt online since we started rolling out apparel. So guys, go pick up a Pronghorn Country shirt from fallobsession.com. We ship stuff out pretty promptly upon your order, so you'll get it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Nick's also rocking our latest hat, the Sharpshooter Trucker hat.
What's up?
You're a freaking model today, man. So anyway, I also got the bow hunting shirt on right now, which is a cool tee. So go pick up some merch, support Fall Obsession. We really appreciate it. And on that note, honestly, our apparel is selling better than it ever has up to this point right now. So
man, I'll add to that. I wear our merch all the time, not just because I'm an admin and I love Fall Obsession, but because it is honestly some of the most comfortable shirts I own.
Yeah,
honestly.
These are nice shirts, guys. Top notch, high quality. So be sure that you guys go pick up some merch, multiple hats, multiple shirts. Got some decals on there too.
Yep.
Hopefully in the months and years to come, we might actually get some actual gear on there for sale that we're putting our brand on as well.
Yep.
So big plans for the future. So go check those out if you guys have not already on social media, Fall Obsession or at Fall Obsession on Instagram. Go give us a follow. YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're putting out multiple new videos a week right now. So hit that follow and subscribe button. And this podcast is on multiple different podcast platforms, our website and YouTube. So wherever you listen to it, hit that follow and subscribe button. That way you get notified every Monday morning when we drop a new episode. Finally, before we wrap up, we have a giveaway coming.
Dun, dun, dun.
Or actually, at the time that this episode is coming out, it is running right now.
Yeah.
It's already out. We are giving away an elite cure as part of our Cure Your Obsession series, which is a series we've been doing all the way through the summer into the fall now, where we're teaching you guys, breaking down everything archery, about setting up a bow, about shooting, form, everything. And we're going to keep doing it a little bit on into the fall as well. We haven't wrapped it up yet, so it's still going. But all is to say, we are, as a part of that series and in partnership with Elite, we are giving away a cure. It is specific. It's a right-handed 60 to 70 pound bow with OD brown in color, I should say. But that is the bow we're giving away. The giveaway is on our social media and our YouTube. There's multiple ways that you guys can get some entries in. So go to our social media page, find the post from October 2nd. That's the giveaway video. And follow the instructions to enter to win. It's our Halloween giveaway, so we'll be giving the bow away on October 31st. So
get in while you can.
Get in while you can. Get you a new bow in your hand. I know we're already into deer season, but You can either have it set up for spring turkey, or if you're that guy that's willing to swap over equipment mid-year, man, it's
Jump
a free
on it.
bow.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lead on top of that. So go enter to win. You got anything else, buddy?
I have nothing else.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys once again listening. Be sure you tune in again next week. We got a really awesome,
It's gonna be good.
Humorous episode for you guys coming next week. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. So thanks for listening to Follow Up Session Podcast. We'll catch you next week.
See you later.